What if all my videos were like this? Like, imagine me every video, I'm just like, what up, you big bitch? Okay, what's up you guys? How's it going? It's Papa. I've had quite a bit of you guys reach out to me asking what's the best way to prepare for a tournament. Now, I've already made a video something kind of like this in the past where I talk about what you should bring to a organized play tournament, whether it's your locals, whether it's a regional, whether it's a YCS. But I wanted to go ahead and showcase you guys what I've been bringing lately, because it has changed quite a bit. Granted, sleeves, deck box, like everything has just kind of changed. But I want to go ahead and show you guys what I've been using for my organized play lately. So I know you guys are pretty used to me using a cloth play mat in most of my videos. This is the cloth mat that I've been using. It is my Spellground mat that I have had for quite a while now. I've had it for probably about like the last 4 or 5 years, if I may be honest. It's still in great condition, which makes me very happy because these babies are not cheap.
Yeah, well, this is handmade quality shit we're talking here.
I will admit, however, I did get kind of bored of the gray. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of good memories with this mat. I have used it for almost every single regional and YCS that I've been to these last couple of years. But unfortunately, you do have to move on sometimes. So as much as I do like this play mat, I do feel it is just going to go into storage for the time being until I feel like using it again. But I did get a new mat that I would like to showcase to you guys. So I did move on. This is a new play mat that I just recently got, not too long ago actually. Don't know why that's there. But this is my newest playmat that I got. It is the Year of the Goat Spellground as well. It's a very limited edition item. I don't believe there's a whole lot of these. I could be wrong, but basically I'm just gonna kind of showcase you guys a little bit of the differences. I mean, of course, it's red and gold, which I do like a lot. It has different kind of tombstones. It's the Festival, wow, I can't even say it right. The Festival Ground Edition, so it has quite a bit of unique design to it, but it's quite different, and I do like this mat a lot. I do like the red. Red is one of my favorite colors, so I was a little bit biased, and of course, well, me being Papa Goat, I decided to opt for a goat. But yeah, I do really like this mat a lot. I do like the feel of it. I mean, it's basically the same exact thing as my regular Spellground, just a different look and a different color, but it is still very nice. This is what I've been using quite often, mainly because it's just so convenient and it just holds a lot. It holds main, side, and extra, no problem. The thing that I didn't really like too much about it is when you would take your main and extra deck and leave the side deck in, is that it would fall to the bottom. So basically, what would happen was, like, say this is it right here, so your side deck would just fall to the bottom, and then it would basically get stuck at the bottom, and you basically have to just like yeet it out. This isn't a good example because it's in like a metal case, but imagine 15 cards being stuck at the bottom, and you have to basically flip your deck box over every time to get it out. So I moved away from these. I don't really use this much often unless I'm trying to just keep extra cards or just loose stuff that I have hanging around that I'm trying to clean up. But I wouldn't really recommend these for Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're playing Magic or One Piece, I would definitely recommend one of these because the storage is just more for those kinds of games. And then I moved on to the Gem single-use deck box. What I don't like about these, if I may be honest, is that I feel like it is a lot of room, don't get me wrong, which goes a completely long way. The thing that I don't like about it is the size of it, because this takes up a lot of room in your bag, which I'll get to later. But of course it holds my Tengu deck, which I have been playing casually. It's not super high rarity or anything. It's just a very casual deck that I have at the moment, just for in case some friends want to play, if they don't want to play advanced format, whatever it may be. But I do like the format. I am tending to get into it a little bit more, but who knows, maybe I'll go to organized play one day. But what I do like about this deck box too is that it also comes with a dice tray, which is very nice. But I honestly keep dice in my calculator, so it is what it is. I mean, I don't really use it, but you could use it for counters or whatever it may be. But I also opted to move away from these, and I will show you what I use now. Again, I'll show you my bag that I'm using at the end of the video. It'll make more sense for why I switched to this kind of deck box. This is just a Pokemon double deck box. I always wanted one of these, and I had one a long time ago, but I haven't had one since. It's a very generic Gyarados. I mean, I don't think it's too crazy. I mean, I do like it because it's red and it matches the playmat, so that's very cool. Gyarados is also one of my favorite Pokemons of all time, but as you can see, it Holds basically everything you need, keeps everything nice and secure, of course a magnet. The deck box also came with a little Magikarp divider, so I'm very fond of that as well. So that's also really cool. And then it also like comes out if you need to, so you can store it like that as well. I do like this deck box. It's been really nice having this because it doesn't take up a lot of room, and then it keeps your deck nice and secure, no problems. So definitely like this. I definitely recommend one of these if you're going to be trying to travel light when you play. One thing that I always get asked about when I am dueling or when I am doing a deck profile, whatever it may be, is what kind of sleeves do I use? Now, typically, I am a big Dragon Shield guy. If I am going to use Dragon Shield, it's definitely going to be the Orchid from now on, because this is probably the best color that they have ever released. I mainly use these for my extra deck, mainly because I have basically fallen in love with like a new brand of sleeve, and that is the Minotaur Whites from Imperium Duelist. These are very good. They are basically the same as the Pegasus sleeves. The main reason I switched to the Minotaur ones is because these have a matte back as opposed to a gloss back. So these basically feel like player's choice. The only problem that I have with these is that they rise to the top too much of the card. So for example, when you use like one of the Pegasus Whites, like you can see that it has the gloss back. You put it in and then like it stays in for like very limited time here, but when you're playing with a whole deck of 40 or 50 or whatever it may be, they do tend to rise to the top a lot. So basically your card is looking, again, not the best example, but you can see like the very edge of the top of your card, which does lead to damaging. So that's why I don't really recommend using the the Pegasus Whites, mainly because I mainly use a lot of more high valued cards. If you're playing something casually and you have like a deck of commons, then definitely use this. I actually use these on my Tengu list, mainly because again, it's just one of my cheaper decks. But if you're trying to keep everything nice and secure, I would definitely recommend the Minotaur Whites 100% of the time. Of course, when you play, you have to keep track in some way, shape, or possible. So what I do, since I mainly play casually right now, and I go to regionals or YCSs when they're local, is I use a calculator. I mainly use a calculator because it's probably the easiest thing you can use. Since I'm using my phone most of the time to record matchups and record deck profiles, I don't want to kill my battery every single time I go to locals. So I opt to just use a graphing calculator. It's probably the easiest thing you can do because I've had this for basically since I was in high school. So I wanted to make sure it has full use, because these things are also not cheap. It's very convenient though, because it holds all your dice. It holds a pen in case you need to like mark a match slip as the winner. You have like spots for like other cards. These elementals are actually just goat tokens. So again, I get it. I know it's a little excessive, but I don't care. But of course, I always recommend using some kind of calculator. You could use Neuron if you want to. I just personally am not a fan of Neuron because again, I don't like having my phone out while I'm playing. I usually just like to keep it while I'm recording or just keep it in my pocket because I don't want to be distracted by anything else except the match that's happening at hand. Now, one of the issues that I've had in the past is that I am actually guilty of having my stuff stolen at events. It's unfortunate. There's some things you just can't prevent from happening. So it is what it is. Like about 5 or 6 years ago, at one of the first events that I attended to, I had one of my cards stolen from me from someone that was just looking through my binder, and it just happens. So to prevent theft, mainly because it's been happening so rapid lately, I've noticed a big trend of people having their stuff taken away from them, and I see it all the time on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it. So basically, to prevent theft from happening, I opted to just switch away from my normal backpack that I use when I go to events, and instead I use a Konami official Yu-Gi-Oh satchel instead. What I like about this bag is that it wraps around you, so I mean it definitely stays by your side, literally, every single time that you want to play. It's just convenient when you're walking around. And then also what it has is that it has like a lot of good features. Like I have this little pocket right here for in case I wanted to fit like maybe a play mat for someone that doesn't bring one, whatever it may be. Also, the bag has like a lot of other features. Like I have a spot here for extra pens in case you need it. You could also bring like a Sharpie, whatever it may be, for people that like want just a Sharpie, or if you want cards signed by me, I'm always willing to do so. But it also has like a bunch of other stuff where you have like multiple zippers to fit like extra packs of sleeves, whatever it may be. Like I think in this pouch I have an extra pack of whites on me just in case. I always try to make sure I have extra sleeves because you don't want to be caught without them, especially when you're playing a card game. But the bag is perfect. It basically fits everything that you need for it. So it fits my Spellground perfectly, which I do love. I don't use a bag. I'm a little lazy and I don't want to be pulling up with a Spellground in a Ziploc bag. That's just not me. But it fits the deck box perfectly. I mean, basically everything in this like first top fits everything that you need. Like I already have my deck box in here. I already have my playmat. I have 2 extra pack of sleeves that I can put in just one of the front pouches, so that way it doesn't clog in the space of my current one. And then one of my favorite things too is that it also fits my calculator. So just in the big messenger part alone, I already have my main deck, my calculator, and my Spellground, which is basically what you need to start playing. Now, one of the things that I did lean away from, let me sit down, this is weird. One of the things I personally don't do anymore when I go to events is bring a binder with me, mainly because, again, I just don't really like having a binder anymore at events since I have had stuff taken from me in the past, and I don't recommend it to new players, especially because if there's one thing I don't want new players to have happen to them is have any reason to not play the game. And odds are, if you get your like $400 or $500 deck stolen at an event, odds are you're probably gonna wanna not play this game anymore. But yeah guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. That's just what I have been bringing with me lately when I go and play cards. It's not as much as I used to bring anymore because again, I've just been a lot more casual with the game as opposed to being super competitive, mainly because I live in California, I have a family, and I just spend a lot of my extra time with them. And don't get me wrong, I would love to push out content, but I need more of you guys to subscribe. So if you haven't already, subscribe to me, and that way I can hopefully just make this a full-time thing one day. But yeah guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it. And until next time, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video.